Jana Duggar, the eldest daughter of Bob and Michelle Duggar, has always been known for her quiet demeanor and deep sense of responsibility. As one of 19 children in the famously large Duggar family, Jana has often taken on the role of caretaker and mentor to her younger siblings. Her life has been shaped by her faith, her commitment to family values, and her desire to live a purpose-driven existence. Recently, however, Jana surprised fans by sharing a rare glimpse into her personal world, a video that featured her mother, Michelle, and her younger sisters. This unexpected moment offered insight not only into Jana's close-knit family dynamics, but also into how she navigates her role as both an older sister and a public figure. The video itself was unassuming yet deeply meaningful. Shot in what appeared to be their home, it showcased Michelle Duggar sitting at the kitchen table with some of her youngest daughters. The scene was intimate, filled with laughter and lighthearted conversation. Jana stood nearby, filming the interaction with evident affection. It wasn't staged or polished. Instead, it felt like a candid snapshot of everyday life within the Duggar household. For longtime followers of the family, this kind of footage is a treasure because it provides a behind-the-scenes look at moments that are typically kept private. What made the video particularly special was its focus on 3 generations of women: Michelle, Jana, and the younger girls. Viewers could see the bond between mother and daughters unfold naturally. Michelle's warmth radiated through the screen as she engaged her youngest children in playful banter. At the same time, Jana's presence added another layer of connection. She hovered protectively, occasionally chiming in with gentle guidance or encouragement. It was clear from her body language that she cherishes these moments with her family, even if they don't always make it onto social media. For many fans, seeing Michelle in such a relaxed setting was especially poignant. Over the years, Michelle has become something of a matriarchal icon for those who admire the Duggars' traditional lifestyle. Known for her unwavering faith, homemaking skills, and ability to manage a large household, Michelle has inspired countless people around the world. Yet, despite her public persona, glimpses of her simply being mom are relatively rare. In this video, viewers got to see her softer side, the way she leans into her role as a nurturer without any pretense. Whether she was helping one of the girls tie her hair or offering words of wisdom, Michelle exuded a quiet strength that resonated deeply with those watching. The younger sisters featured in the video were equally endearing. Each girl brought her own personality to the moment, whether it was through shy smiles, animated storytelling, or bursts of giggles. Their interactions with Michelle highlighted the unique dynamic of having a mother who doubles as a friend and confidant. Meanwhile, Jana's role as a bridge between her mother and her younger siblings was unmistakable. She seemed to instinctively know when to step back and let the others shine, and when to offer support or redirection. Her leadership style is subtle but effective, rooted in love and respect rather than authority. Sharing this video was a significant departure for Jana, who tends to keep her personal life under wraps. Unlike some of her siblings, Jana has maintained a low profile on social media. While she does have platforms where she shares snippets of her life, she rarely posts content that delves too deeply into her relationships or daily routines. This makes the decision to release such a heartfelt video all the more noteworthy. It suggests that Jana wanted to give her audience a chance to connect with her family in a more authentic way, perhaps as a gesture of gratitude for their continued support over the years. The response from fans was overwhelmingly positive. Many expressed their appreciation for the raw honesty of the video, noting how refreshing it was to see the Duggars in an unfiltered light. Others commented on the obvious closeness between Michelle, Jana, and the younger girls, remarking on how inspiring it is to witness such strong familial bonds. Some even shared stories of their own experiences growing up in big families, drawing parallels between their lives and what they saw in the video. The outpouring of love and admiration underscored just how impactful the Duggars story continues to be for so many people. Beyond the sentimental value, the video also served as a reminder of the importance of intergenerational connections. Watching Michelle interact with her daughters highlighted the beauty of passing down traditions, values, and lessons from one generation to the next. There was a sense of continuity, a thread that ties the past, present, and future together. For Jana, who is now navigating adulthood while still playing a pivotal role in her family, this must hold particular significance. She is part of a lineage of strong women who prioritize faith, family, and service above all else. Interestingly, the video also shed light on Jana's evolving identity. As the firstborn daughter, she has shouldered immense responsibility since childhood. From helping care for her younger siblings to managing household duties, Jana has always been a cornerstone of stability within the family. But as she grows older, she is beginning to carve out her own path. Sharing this video may signal a shift in how she views herself, not just as a caretaker or helper, but as someone with her own voice and perspective to share with the world. One of the most striking aspects of the video was its simplicity. There were no elaborate setups, no scripted dialogue, and no ulterior motives. It was simply a celebration of family, captured in real time. In today's hyper-curated digital landscape, where authenticity can sometimes feel scarce, this approach stood out. Jana's willingness to share something so genuine speaks volumes about her character. It shows that she values transparency and trusts her audience enough to let them into her inner circle. Of course, the video also sparked curiosity about what life looks like for the Duggars today. With several of the older siblings married and starting families of their own, the dynamics within the household have undoubtedly shifted. Michelle and Bob are now grandparents multiple times over, which adds another layer of complexity to their roles as parents. Meanwhile, Jana remains unmarried, choosing to dedicate her time to ministry work, volunteer efforts, and supporting her family. Her decision to stay single has been a topic of interest for fans, many of whom wonder if she will eventually follow in her siblings' footsteps and start a family of her own. Regardless of what the future holds, the video serves as a testament to the enduring legacy of the Duggar family. Through challenges and triumphs alike, they have remained steadfast in their commitment to each other and their shared beliefs. Moments like the one captured in Jana's video remind us of the power of unity and the joy that comes from cherishing the people we hold dear. In conclusion, Jana Duggar's decision to share this rare video of her mother and younger sisters offers a window into the heart of the Duggar family. It showcases the love, laughter, and mutual respect that define their relationships, while also highlighting Jana's unique position as both a leader and a connector within the household. For fans, it's a cherished reminder of why they fell in love with the Duggars in the first place. Their authenticity, their faith, and their unwavering devotion to one another. And for Jana, it may mark the beginning of a new chapter, one where she embraces her individuality while continuing to honor the ties that bind her to her family. Jana Duggar, the beloved youngest daughter of Bob and Michelle Duggar, is no stranger to living life with an open heart and a zest for fun. Known for her cheerful personality and deep-rooted values, Joy has always been someone who radiates positivity in every interaction. Recently, she spent some quality time with two close friends, Abby Grace Burnett and Caitlin Nakatsu, and their shared moments were nothing short of delightful. While it wasn't part of any scripted event or staged gathering, what unfolded between them was pure joy, pun intended, as they embraced friendship, laughter, and simple pleasures that make life so meaningful. The day began on a bright note, with sunlight streaming through the windows of Joanna's cozy home. It had been weeks since all three women were able to carve out time together amidst their busy schedules. Between Joy's responsibilities as a mother, Abby's commitments to ministry work, and Caitlin's creative pursuits, finding overlapping free time felt like winning the lottery. Yet here they were, sitting around the kitchen table sipping coffee, already giggling over inside jokes from years past. Abby, ever the storyteller, launched into a hilarious account of her recent attempt at baking bread, a culinary disaster involving burnt crusts and dough that refused to rise properly. "I thought I could pull off this whole homemade bread thing," she said, dramatically throwing her hands up in mock defeat. But apparently, yeast has other plans. Caitlin burst into uncontrollable laughter, clutching her sides. "Oh my goodness, Abby, you should stick to your smoothies. At least those don't require patience." Joy chimed in, shaking her head playfully. "Guys, remember when we tried making pizza from scratch? That ended with flour everywhere and half-cooked cheese." The memory sent them spiraling into another fit of giggles, each one recalling how chaotic yet endearing that evening had been. It's moments like these where the bond between these three shines brightest. They've known each other long enough to share not just stories, but also vulnerabilities. There's no pretense, no pressure to be anything other than themselves. Their friendship thrives on authenticity, and today was proof of that. After breakfast, Joy suggested doing something creative. She'd recently picked up crafting as a hobby and wanted to introduce her friends to the calming art of macrame. With bundles of colorful yarn laid out on the living room floor, she eagerly demonstrated basic knots, while Abby and Caitlin followed along, occasionally pausing to untangle their threads. "This feels harder than it looks," Abby admitted, squinting at her tangled mess of strings. "Are you sure people actually use this stuff for decoration?" "It takes practice," Joy reassured her, tying a perfect knot effortlessly. "But once you get the hang of it, it becomes second nature." Meanwhile, Caitlin seemed surprisingly adept at the craft, her nimble fingers weaving intricate patterns within minutes. "Okay, fine, Miss Craft Queen," Abby teased, pretending to pout. "Some of us need more grace than others." By the end of the session, each of them held a small macrame wall hanging, imperfect but charming nonetheless. Abby joked about gifting hers to her husband, John David, despite its questionable aesthetic appeal. "He'll love it because I made it," she declared confidently, earning approving nods from Joy and Caitlin. Crafting together wasn't just about creating tangible items, it symbolized their collective effort to build something beautiful out of ordinary materials, a metaphor for their friendship itself. Each twist and turn of the yarn mirrored the ups and downs they'd navigated together, strengthening their connection along the way. With the afternoon sun warming the Arkansas countryside, the trio decided to take a walk outside. Fresh air and scenic views have always held a special place in Joy's heart, reminding her of simpler times growing up on the family farm. As they strolled down a wooded trail, leaves crunching underfoot, the conversation naturally shifted toward more profound topics. "Do you ever feel overwhelmed by everything?" Caitlin asked thoughtfully, breaking the comfortable silence. "Sometimes it feels like there's too much noise, too many expectations." Joy nodded sympathetically. "Absolutely, but I've learned to find peace in focusing on what truly matters: family, faith, and friendships like ours. When things get overwhelming, I remind myself to take a step back and breathe." Abby added her perspective, sharing how prayer and reflection helped her navigate challenges in her own life. "There's power in surrendering control," she said softly, "trusting that God has a plan, even when we can't see it." These exchanges weren't uncommon among the three. Despite coming from different backgrounds, they shared core beliefs that anchored their lives. Whether discussing personal struggles or celebrating victories, they approached each topic with empathy and understanding. In those quiet moments under the canopy of trees, surrounded by nature's beauty, their bond deepened further. As dusk approached, hunger pangs prompted them to return home and prepare dinner together. Cooking had always been a favorite activity for Joy, especially when done alongside loved ones. Tonight's menu: homemade tacos, a crowd favorite guaranteed to satisfy everyone's cravings. While Joy chopped vegetables and seasoned meat, Abby took charge of assembling toppings: shredded lettuce, diced tomatoes, grated cheese, and guacamole. Caitlin, meanwhile, set the table and uncorked a bottle of sparkling water, adding slices of lime for extra flair. Does anyone else think taco night is basically the best night ever? Joy quipped, flipping tortillas on the skillet. It's impossible to mess up. Well, unless you burn the shells, Abby joked, referencing her earlier baking mishap. Then it might qualify as edible origami. Once everything was ready, they gathered around the dining table, plates piled high with delicious creations. Conversation flowed freely as they savored each bite, reminiscing about childhood memories and dreaming about future adventures. For Joy, these evenings embodied the essence of hospitality, a value instilled in her by her parents, and she cherished the opportunity to create lasting memories with dear friends. As night fell, the group moved outdoors again, this time settling onto a blanket spread across the grass. Above them stretched an endless expanse of stars, twinkling against the velvety black sky. Arkansas nights often brought a sense of serenity, inviting introspection and gratitude. "I'm so thankful for nights like this," Joy murmured, gazing upward. "It reminds me how big the universe is, and how lucky I am to have people like you in my corner." Abby reached over to squeeze her hand. "Same here. Life gets messy sometimes, but knowing we're in this together makes all the difference." Caitlin agreed, adding, "Friendships like ours are rare treasures. No matter where life takes us, I know our connection will remain strong." Underneath the celestial display, they sat quietly for a while, content in each other's company. Words weren't necessary. Their presence alone spoke volumes about the depth of their relationship. These unspoken moments carried immense weight, reinforcing the foundation of trust and love they'd built over the years. When reflecting on the day's events, one truth stood clear: Joy-Anna Duggar, Abby Grace Burnett, and Caitlin Nakatsu exemplify the beauty of genuine friendship. From laughter-filled mornings to heartfelt conversations under starlit skies, their time together encapsulated the essence of camaraderie. They didn't need elaborate plans or extravagant settings to enjoy each other's company. Instead, they found joy in simplicity, cherishing the everyday moments that often go unnoticed. Their bond serves as a reminder that true connections transcend superficialities. Whether crafting, cooking, or simply sharing space, the key lies in being fully present, for better or worse, in laughter and tears. And though their paths may diverge at times, the memories created during days like these ensure their friendship remains steadfast, a beacon of hope and happiness amid life's uncertainties. In the end, it wasn't about what they did, but rather who they did it with. Joy, Abby, and Caitlin proved that sometimes the simplest pleasures bring the greatest joys. Jinger Vuolo, formerly known as Jinger Duggar, has always been an intriguing figure within the world of reality television. As one of 19 children in the sprawling and highly conservative Duggar family, made famous by their TLC show *19 Kids and Counting*, Jinger grew up under intense public scrutiny. Her life was meticulously documented on screen, from her childhood in Arkansas to her courtship and marriage to Jeremy Vuolo. Over time, however, Jinger began carving out her own identity separate from the rigid expectations of her upbringing. She converted to Protestant Christianity after leaving the independent fundamental Baptist movement that had shaped much of her early years. This shift marked not just a spiritual transformation, but also a broader embrace of personal freedom and self-expression. One aspect of Jinger's journey that offers a fascinating glimpse into her past is her recollection of the restaurant the Duggar family frequented during her formative years. Restaurants are more than places to eat. They often serve as social hubs where familial bonds are strengthened, traditions are formed, and memories are made. For the Duggars, who were deeply committed to living according to strict religious principles, these outings likely carried additional layers of meaning. The choice of restaurant would have reflected their values, dietary restrictions, and desire for environments they deemed appropriate for such a large family. By revisiting this particular establishment through Jinger's eyes today, we can better understand how it shaped her experiences growing up and why it remains significant even now. The restaurant in question was Cracker Barrel Old Country Store, a chain known for its Southern-inspired comfort food, rustic decor, and nostalgic atmosphere. It wasn't merely a convenient option for feeding a family of 21. It became something of a tradition for the Duggars. Located near their hometown of Tontitown, Arkansas, Cracker Barrel offered a familiar setting where the family could gather without feeling out of place or overwhelmed by modern distractions. The layout of the restaurant, with its spacious seating arrangements and homey ambiance, was especially accommodating for large groups like theirs. Moreover, the menu featured hearty dishes such as fried chicken, meatloaf, and biscuits with gravy, which aligned well with the family's preference for simple, filling meals. Cracker Barrel also appealed to the Duggars because of its wholesome image. Known for its country charm and focus on traditional American values, the brand resonated with the family's conservative lifestyle. From the shelves stocked with old-fashioned toys and cookbooks to the absence of alcohol or anything remotely controversial, Cracker Barrel provided a safe haven consistent with the IFB culture in which the Duggars were immersed. Additionally, the predictability of the dining experience allowed them to avoid potential conflicts over unfamiliar foods or settings that might challenge their beliefs. For Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, choosing Cracker Barrel wasn't just about convenience or affordability. It was a deliberate decision rooted in their desire to shield their children from what they perceived as worldly influences. They sought spaces where their faith-based convictions could be upheld seamlessly, and Cracker Barrel fit that mold perfectly. Its reputation as a family-friendly establishment reinforced their commitment to prioritizing unity and shared experiences among their many children. These visits weren't just meals. They were opportunities to reinforce the importance of staying true to their values while enjoying moments together away from home. For Jinger, stepping into Cracker Barrel during her childhood evoked a mix of emotions: comfort, nostalgia, and sometimes constraint, all wrapped up in the sensory details unique to the restaurant. The moment she walked through those wooden doors, the scent of freshly baked pies mingled with savory entrees greeted her, creating an instant sense of familiarity. The walls adorned with vintage signs and black and white photographs transported her to a simpler time, one that mirrored the Duggar family's emphasis on tradition and simplicity. The ambient hum of conversation blended seamlessly with the clinking of silverware and soft country music playing in the background, crafting an atmosphere both cozy and predictable, a stark contrast to the chaos often associated with raising 19 children. Sitting down at one of the oversized tables designed to accommodate large groups felt like coming home, albeit within the confines of societal norms that governed her upbringing. Each visit followed a similar rhythm, perusing the menu filled with hearty options like chicken fried steak and pecan pancakes, deciding whether to indulge in sweet tea or opt for water instead, and waiting patiently as servers brought out steaming plates piled high with comfort food. For Jinger, these meals represented more than sustenance. They were rituals steeped in routine and expectation. Conversations revolved around topics deemed appropriate by her parents, avoiding anything too personal or controversial. Laughter bubbled up occasionally, but it was tempered by the unspoken rules dictating behavior in public spaces. As she reflects now, Jinger recognizes how these visits embodied both safety and restriction. On one hand, there was undeniable warmth in sharing meals surrounded by loved ones, basking in the predictability of Cracker Barrel's environment. Yet, on the other hand, the same predictability could feel suffocating. Every trip reinforced the boundaries set by her parents' worldview, reminding her of the limited scope within which she was allowed to explore life. Even small choices, like selecting dessert from the display case near the entrance, came with implicit guidelines about modesty and moderation. Looking back, Jinger recalls feeling torn between gratitude for the stability these outings provided and yearning for the freedom to step outside those carefully constructed boundaries. For the Duggar family, dining out at Cracker Barrel was never just about eating. It was a cornerstone of their collective identity, reinforcing the principles and practices that defined their lives. The restaurant served as a microcosm of the larger framework within which the family operated, a space where traditional gender roles, communal responsibility, and adherence to religious values were visibly enacted. During these visits, Bob and Michelle Duggar modeled behaviors they expected their children to emulate, from polite interactions with servers to expressions of gratitude before meals. These moments underscored the importance of humility, respect, and unity, qualities central to their interpretation of Christian living. The structure of these outings also mirrored the regimented lifestyle the Duggars maintained at home. Seating arrangements often followed age and gender hierarchies, subtly reinforcing the family's patriarchal dynamic. Older siblings were tasked with helping younger ones navigate the menu or manage their behavior, instilling a sense of duty and accountability. Conversations steered clear of topics deemed inappropriate or overly personal, aligning with the family's belief in guarding speech and conduct. In this way, Cracker Barrel became an extension of the moral universe the Duggars inhabited, where every action carried symbolic weight. Beyond teaching discipline and order, these gatherings fostered a deep sense of belonging among the siblings. With 19 children, opportunities for shared experiences were precious, and Cracker Barrel provided a neutral yet intimate setting where everyone could participate equally. Whether it was splitting a slice of peach cobbler or laughing over playful banter, these small acts of togetherness helped cement the bonds that held the family together. For Jinger, these memories remain vivid reminders of the dual nature of her upbringing, a life rich in connection and love, but constrained by rigid expectations that left little room for individuality. Reflecting on her childhood experiences at Cracker Barrel, Jinger Vuolo acknowledges the profound impact these visits had on shaping her identity. Growing up in such a structured environment, she often grappled with feelings of both security and limitation. The restaurant symbolized a sanctuary where family values thrived, yet it also highlighted the constraints imposed by her parents' stringent worldview. Now, as an adult navigating her own path, Jinger sees these memories through a more nuanced lens. While she cherishes the sense of belonging and tradition cultivated during those meals, she recognizes how they simultaneously reinforced the boundaries that once stifled her personal growth. Today, Jinger approaches dining out with a fresh perspective, embracing the freedom to explore diverse cuisines and environments without adhering to rigid guidelines. Unlike her childhood trips to Cracker Barrel, where choices were dictated by familial expectations, she now relishes the autonomy to make decisions based solely on her preferences. This newfound independence allows her to appreciate restaurants not just as places to eat, but as spaces for self-expression and discovery. Whether savoring international flavors or indulging in spontaneous outings, Jinger finds joy in breaking free from the predictable routines of her past. Her reflections extend beyond mere nostalgia. They offer insight into the broader journey of self-discovery she continues to navigate. By revisiting memories of Cracker Barrel, Jinger confronts the complexities of her upbringing, the ways it shaped her resilience and faith, while also challenging her aspirations for autonomy. In doing so, she underscores the importance of balancing tradition with personal evolution, celebrating the lessons learned while embracing the limitless possibilities ahead.